UFC 314 is around the corner. I cannot wait for this card. April the 12th happening in Miami, Florida in the Kaseya Center. Right, boys, what are we going to get from this card? You know, starting it off, we're going to have to start it off with a banger. Well done to the UFC for putting that fight on, but not too well done to them on giving, Yair Rodriguez an upcomer in the sport. All right, I wouldn't say upcomer. He's seasoned. He's fought a lot of UFC fighters now, who did used to compete in Bellator, but wow, you're going to give that guy, Patricia Pitbull. What a way to get rid of Yair Rodriguez. UFC, they know what they're doing. They want to get rid of him. They want him out of the sport. They want him to absolutely get annihilated. Send him home. Send him to Mexico. Never let him come back here again. The audacity. How can you even do that to a man like Yair Rodriguez? He's got one of the best knockout wins in the sport. You know, what he done against Korean Zombie was amazing. That alone should keep him in and give him another chance. Maybe because he's coming off a loss last year to Brian Ortega, he got submitted. But what's happening after that? You're going to give him someone like Patricia Pitbull? Good fight. Could have given him someone better. Could have given Patricia Pitbull someone else. Maybe, could have given him another fighter on the card. But no, they chose, you know what? We're going to attack him with Yair Rodriguez, feed him to the beast, and let him get eaten. Is that a fair fight? I don't know. You guys told me. I think it's pretty much not fair for Yair Rodriguez, especially for what he's done for the fans. He brings back-to-back bangers, and I like watching him compete. But hey, pretty sad. UFC doing their job as usual, doing their behind-the-work magics, doing the magics behind the doors. So now, after that, interesting fight. We've got Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates needs to put down the cigarettes, maybe. If he does put the cigarettes down, he has chances of actually winning. But, we've just seen that guy coming off wins back-to-back, so I can't really say anything. I cannot say anything. That's a tough fight for him there, Jeff Neal. Neal's pretty good. I like him. He comes to fight as well. All the fans do recognize him for his work that he's put into the UFC. And I don't know, will this fight make or break someone like Jeff Neal or even Carlos Prates? If he does lose, he's going to have to feel like, damn, maybe to put the cigarettes down? Maybe. Just maybe. But I don't know. Is he going to do that or is he going to keep smoking? Is he going to go get another pack of B&H Blue, stop the B&H Gold, go get some B&H Blue and start smoking that? Because I've never really come across someone who smokes cigarettes in the UFC. We've got our first one, ladies and gentlemen. And if he does lose, he could tell himself, I've lost because of this. So, interesting fight. That's actually an interesting fight. Can't wait to see how he pulls that off. Let that day come and let's see how the fight goes. I feel like maybe he's not going to be too happy when he does get the loss. Jeff Neal, they're both on 6 losing streak. Not streak, what am I on about? They've both got 6 losses to their name. Jeff Neal's got more wins to his name, so it'd be interested to see them both have a good matchup. Well done for the UFC for making that fight. Not too bad, but could have done a bit better. After that, we've got Bryce Mitchell versus this one actually attracts me. Bryce Mitchell. The UFC, they're doing this on purpose. They really are doing this on purpose. They're feeding him Gene Silva. Gene Silva's been on an absolute tear recently. He's come to absolutely annihilate the division, beating the shit out of everyone, comes forward, puts good pressure on, and he wants to take everything from Bryce Mitchell. UFC is not happy with Bryce. You guys need to remember that. What he was saying about the Adolf Hitler, he tried to say that he's a good man. Bryce is something else, aren't you, son? So look, we're going to have to get Bryce Mitchell up against Gene Silva now. Bryce, what are you doing, man? Why are you even taking a fight like this? Say to the UFC, something wrong with you right now. You can't fight. You're having an emotional breakdown and they will let you slide. I'm sure they'll let you slide for everything you've done, but maybe they won't let you slide because Dana's absolutely pissed off at you, mate. Pissed off, right? Could have done something else instead of tweeting about Adolf Hitler, favoritizing him. Got so much backlash for that. And he knew he digged his own grave when he said something like that. There's no coming back. Whether you're an American living in Texas, whether you're British living in Manchester, you can't come away from shit like that. Once you've done it, you've done it. All right, you're going to have to pay the consequences. Now, is he going to pull out? I don't know. Is Bryce Mitchell known to pull out of his fights? I wouldn't say too much. He comes to fight. The ones that did beat him up, they're happy what they've done with him, and I'm sure they'll take a rematch. Give him Ilia Topuria again. Ilia will take it with a snatch of his hand. But once again, Ilia's not even in the featherweight division anymore. Gone up to lightweight. So, the featherweight division. Did they give him that as well? Because there might not even be much fights. It might be dying out. Could be that. But hey, let's just see what actually they bring to the table this time. I would love to see that happen ASAP. We're not far from it anyways. Another 20 days, we'll see them both get into action. And then finally, for the co-main event, we got Chandler versus Pimblett. Yeah, Chandler versus Pimblett. I already spoke about this. Not much. I'm sure you guys are thinking what I'm thinking anyways. Paddy Pimblett might be affected due to Molly McCann's retirement. Maybe not. I think this might even help him. It might just be like, you know what, she's off the team, better, but good for me, get her out of here. Now we can just focus on myself. The team can get me better. It's like Molly was dragging down Paddy. All right, Molly was actually dragging Paddy down. If you understand what I'm saying, she was pulling him in the hole. Paddy was doing good. Molly kept losing. One was going up, one was going down. Not a good combination for this sport. Definitely not a good combination, all right? Paddy and his team in Liverpool, lads, they're probably thinking, you know what? We're going to have to take it easy on Molly now. Let's just focus full-time on, Paddy Pimblett, which is what they wanted to do. They wanted to do something like that. Just admit it. They wanted to do this shit. They didn't want to put their attention onto Molly McCann because she wasn't getting wins. She was getting back-to-back losses. 1-2 fights she's won 2-3 years ago. Totally irrelevant right now. Don't want to hear it. Give it all to Paddy. Paddy's upcoming. He's fighting the top 5. What's going to happen? Chandler's might even go in there for haymakers, gas out, and Paddy's just going to take advantage of that. So this fight, I do see Paddy actually winning. Paddy can actually do some damage on him, take him down, work off his grappling, his jiu-jitsu, and get the tap on Chandler. We've seen Chandler's jiu-jitsu is not the best. He just does his freestyle bug out. That's why I'll call it freestyle bug out. That's a good base for him. But yeah, someone like Paddy, you actually bring on the show. Bring on the show. He'll dance on top of him after he's beating him up. And would this make Chandler retire? I don't think so. The UFC loves Chandler, but Chandler might be affected as well. Let's not forget, it's not just Paddy that's affected. It can be Chandler as well, because he's not getting that Conor fight any time in his life. I wouldn't say anytime soon, any time in his life. Conor's done, dusted, running for presidency, keep it as that, bang. That's the game. He's gone. Finished. Off in the mountains. We won't see McGregor come back again. But harsh reality, talking about McGregor, I've got to make a video about him as well. So after this, I'm getting onto that shit. I've got a lot to say about that. So then, after that, basically I see Paddy winning. Paddy beating him by submission, most likely. Rear naked choke. I'll call it in the second round. It wouldn't even go past the second round after Michael Chandler starts trying to take his head off, thinking, who's this British kid? Nah, mate, it's just not going to happen, all right? You're going to get tapped. And for the co-main event, this one's interesting. Well done to the UFC for making this. We've got Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Now, Diego Lopes, he's earned his way. He's earned his way to the top. Volk coming off a loss. Is he going to be the same again? Is he going to be himself? Is he still in his prime? Is he able to deliver results? Can he still get in there, do some damage, escape with a win? Can he put in the bag? Maybe he can. We haven't seen too much of Volk coming back after disgusting losses. We haven't seen him except the Islam Makhachev fight. He lost the first one, and then he came back, and then he got absolutely dismantled in the second one with the head kick. But yeah, someone like Diego Lopes, I feel like he doesn't even want to have Volkanovski. He doesn't really want him, because he's got problems with Imova, and he wants to get that done with. I think the fans would like to actually see that fight first before they did give him Volkanovski, but I don't know. They must be having their reasons behind these fights. And Diego Lopes, he's not ducking anybody. He's just going to fight, and he's going to keep fighting anyways. But yeah, that's the featherweight division wrapped up, to be honest. Them two are at the top of the chain. I don't see anyone getting more attention than any of them. That's just the harsh reality, boys. None of them will get more attention than Lopes. Volkanovski, cool. Max, he's now a lightweight, so you wouldn't really want to put him in the featherweight division. You know, he did fight a featherweight, but with Ilya, got his head dismantled off. We will not be seeing him for a long time. Mark my words, guys. We will not be seeing Max Holloway come back to the UFC in the next year. He's going to take a break, a layoff. UFC is going to keep him there as a cash cow because they know they need him. You know, he's bringing in the revenue. Fans love him. But apart from that, yeah, I just don't see him doing too much damage to anyone in the divisions anymore. You know, he's getting old. He's coming out of his prime. He's been in the game for at least, if I'm right, more than 12 years now. 12 years in the UFC is a long fucking time. How much you going to keep fighting? How much you going to keep putting on the pressure? You can't. You just got rocked by a young upcomer. It plays with your head, these stuff. So I don't want to see my boy Max just melt like that. It's better if he does have one more. UFC feeds him a fight with an uppercomer again, not a fucking champion. And maybe Max can retreat himself. He can come back, get another winning, and then call it a day. Call it quits. That's your career done, Max. You've entertained all of us. You're savage. No one's against you. We love you. But you know, when life calls you at times like this, you've got to respond. You've got to respond, tell it that, okay, I'm listening to you. You know what's best for me, and call it quits. That's how it should be done always. But yeah, anyways, that's my take on it. Alexander Volkanovski, I do see him beating Diego Lopes, maybe, but I wouldn't. It's a 50-50. You know, Diego Lopes is a savage. He can actually come in there, put some pressure onto him, beat him with his boxing, but maybe get it done in the third round. But once again, I still feel like Alex has still got that in his bag. Volkanovski's not a joke. You know, he knows what he's doing. He can maybe bring this one back and beat Diego Lopes by decision. If anyone wins by knockout or by submission, I'm going with Diego Lopes all day long. I'm just going to pick Volkanovski as a decision winner. That's it. He's going to come in there, play smart, pick his moves precisely, and he's not going to rush in and get knocked out again. All right, we don't need to see any of that for Volk. Please, guys, stop it. Make UFC great again. That's about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Like and subscribe.